Hey, what's good? Before the episode starts, I thought this week I'd just share some of my favorite moments in TV and movies when eye for an eye was used. Let me know if you like it. Anyways,
I
enjoy
think
the
the Bible
episode.
says something like, do unto others as they have done unto you. And an eye for an eye is like a slave for a slave or something like that.
You're gonna
Brothers and
murder a
sisters of
cat.
the black community.
This is a joke, right? This is one of your pranks?
An eye for an eye, Nick. A cat for a cat.
But what's the other cat? Gift to someone else.
To a children's charity.
Don't you see how wrong that is? Where's your Christmas spirit? An eye
Can't
for an
authorize
eye.
that. Well, he's in my bed. Why can't it be in his? The Hammurabi code is an eye for an eye, not a bed for a bed.
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What is he talking about?
Yes, sir. You know what it is and you know who it is. It's me, Mario, and welcome to Appraise, the phrase, origins of everyday expressions, where we're here to do three things: unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of common everyday phrases. As usual, my dog is in the building. My guy, 20. What's good with your big dog?
Oh man, all good, bro. I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. That dollar is shrinking, bro. The economy is tough. That dollar is shrinking. You can't get nothing with it. And we can't even talk about McDonald's money, because McDonald's is a topic that we probably shouldn't get into at this stage of the world.
Right.
Yeah. What else going on, man? You got any plans for the weekend? I'm not gonna timestamp. You got any plans?
Oh no. I'm actually heading up to Orlando for a little bit. I got a birthday party I gotta go to this weekend. It's just a slide right back down. It's only 3 hours away because I live in Miami, so
Yeah,
only 3
there it
hours
is.
away.
You know I had to get that where you was at.
Vibe.
Yeah, you in Miami. Bet. All right, smooth, man. Let's get into the show today. So another round of some young men that are doing their thing in the sport, in the vehicle that allowed me and my guy 20 to move forward in life, at least get somewhat of a college education. We were in college is what I would call it. I was in college and there was educating going on, and the sport was allowed me to do that. But I'm going to say that these two young men are doing a better job at that. So let me not waste no time in introducing a couple of people that I rock with, and y'all will too. Let me introduce to y'all college football athletes, CJ and Anthony. What's good? Hold on. There it is. The crowd, hold on. There it is. All right, sit down, y'all. Sit down. All right, man, I'm going to toss it to each one of y'all individually, man. Just let them know where you from, where you at, and just how you feeling today. CJ, start with you. How you feeling, man?
How y'all doing, man? I'm CJ Brown. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I play safety at Northern Illinois University. I'm going into my junior season, and I'm feeling great today, man. Blessed to be here.
My man. Anthony, talk to him.
Yo, it's Ant. I'm a true sophomore now, going to Western Michigan. I play safety. I was born in Nigeria, and I'm just here to talk to y'all.
Yeah. Very smart young man. So smart. I had to have him on the show because they was in the program back, worked with them in high school. I did not have a lot to do with their success, but just a small part of the journey. And these young men are so smart. The conversations that we used to have, I used to have to be like, man, shut up. Because they, like when you adult peer thing and they say something that's smarter than you ready to reply to. So you just gotta, try to use coach talk.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, now, you're gonna make me look stupid out here. So that's why I think it would be great to have him on the show. Hey, y'all know, I had Sammy and Mikey on the show too.
I know. I watched that.
Yeah. So they did their thing, man. Sammy is a very interesting dude. But yeah, let's get into the show today. The phrase of the day. I thought it'd be a good one to bring. because the weight of the world, and I'm talking to two people that play on the defensive side of the ball, so it's a kind of a little bit more of a aggressive attacking mentality. I'm the only offensive player here, I'm former, but so I thought, why not get into a phrase, eye for an eye? It's really eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but we're gonna shorten it down to eye for an eye. And so to get us started on your connection to eye for an eye, I'm gonna start with 20. Set us up, man. Set us up for success. What's your connection with eye for eye?
Oh man, it's it actually goes back to biblical times. You know what I'm saying? It's more of an Old Testament type of style. That's when I first hear about it, when especially when you're in the church and stuff like that, and you go through Bible study. Pretty much a relative of like, you get what you give. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you do wrong by me, I'm gonna do wrong by you. You know what I mean? It's one of those no nonsense type of style sayings. Like, it's blatant, bro. Like, if you steal from me, then I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna take your hand. Or that's what it was back in the day. But I feel like nowadays it's more like, you know, blood in, blood out, you know what I'm saying? Or blood for blood type of deal, where it's like, okay, well, if you kill somebody, I know I'm gonna kill somebody, you know. You know, that's just where we, you know what I'm saying, where we grew up, where I grew up. That's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a
That's what they saying out there in Miami and Florida.
You do something. Now we say a little something different, man. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But if it's like a situation where if you do something, you feel me, best believe that it's coming back.
Word. I like that. I can get with that. I have a very, very interesting view on this, but I'll save that for last. We'll go with Ant to start. Ant, what's your connection with eye for an eye?
Really, how he just kind of explained like how I grew up, like hearing eye for an eye mean like whatever you just did, whatever just happened, same thing coming back to you, and like that you got to know that like eye for an eye is like a serious thing. That like it don't, like if you do something crazy, just best to know that something else about to happen, and like that you better like just know what you just did type stuff.
Know what you just did. Some self-awareness there that I don't even know if people actually have it for that. All right, CJ, talk to me.
I feel like everybody kind of hit the head on the nose. I mean, that's really how I feel about it. Growing up, obviously, I lived in the suburbs my whole life, so it's like, but like relating to the people I got that's in the inner city. Like you said, like if you do something wrong to somebody that's with me or somebody that's close to me, then it's coming right back at you, or it might even come double that just to prove the point all the way.
Hey, look, I'm glad you said that. You make a great point. Thank you, CJ, for pulling that out to say like it might get doubled up. So before we get into the Webster's definition of eye for an eye, my thoughts on it, man, or my connection to it is, I get it. It makes sense to me. Something happened. The same thing about to come down. My thing is like, when does it stop? That's just always what I think about. And not that it should stop, but when does it? So, but I won't expound. I'll let the history talk, and then I'll let y'all talk. So let's get into Webster's definition of eye for an eye. And they say that eye for an eye means people should be punished according to the way in which they offended. So it sounds like the definition, y'all have the definition. It's strong enough in each one of our lives that we get the gist. It's not a phrase that we like, damn, I was kind of thrown off by that. So I'm going to just jump right into the origin and where it comes from, and let the conversation start there, because like 20 said, eye for an eye is a commandment found in Exodus, the Bible, and expresses a principle of reciprocal justice. So like a measure for measure. You know what I'm saying? And then in Roman times, they had their own version of that, where it's a law of retaliation, which in Latin, I'm not going to say the Latin word for it, but it's an actual thing. The law of retaliation is an actual statute. Like, it's a real thing. So it's not just how we feel about it. It's not just a feeling. It's a whole system. So eye for an eye is a law system that bears the principle that the person who injured somebody should be penalized in a similar degree of the injured party. And that that like, as it's over time, a softer interpretation is like that the victims that should receive the value of the injury for compensation for the value of the injury. And the intent of this law is not to make sure that the offender that the offender suffers, and it's not to make sure that the victim is compensated. It's actually the principle of it and the essence of it is to make sure that the offender is protected, that they only get what's equal. So like CJ said, like it might come double. The law is like, yeah, nah, don't do double. We actually want to protect the person that fucked up or made the mistake or caused the pain, and say, hey, yeah, don't double it up. That's actually not right. That's actually not right. We want to create a law to say only what's equal. Okay, so the reason why this was the case is because early civilizations were starting to, like, the social fabric was starting to be destroyed because everybody was like vendetta city. Like, all right, I'm gonna get mines times 10. I'm gonna get mines times fucking 10. So they started, the first place that started this was actually the Code of Hammurabi. I don't know if y'all heard of that. I'll pass the mic in a minute, but the Code of Hammurabi, and he's considered, one of the better kings in the earliest days that predate the Hebrew Bible. And that was their system because shit was hitting the fan. Everybody was like, I got to get mines. So let me open the floor back up to say that this is first illegal. It started off, the essence is legal. It's a law system. Eye for an eye is just a translation of the Latin words, and that is to make sure that everybody ain't going crazy. So let me actually start with CJ. How you feeling about that, since you're the one that brought up a very good point, that leave it to us and it might be double?
I feel like in that case, you're kind of keeping it safer then, in a sense. So it's like you said, they get what they deserve, and that's that. So it's not everybody else getting involved into it. So it's like the government take care of it. All right, cool, we got it, and then it's squashed or whatever. But I feel like, at that point, then it's all good, and then but you're gonna have the other parties thinking like, no, I still want to do what I got to do, even though whatever what the law said there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'll ask you, and how do you feel about the law taking the matters into the hands of saying like, nah, this is just enough? Where would you sit with that?
This is my first time hearing about that. I didn't know that was like really a law, but like, I don't know, like, I guess it makes sense in a way, like for smaller things, but like, I don't know, like some things you can't even equal up, like type stuff, like, so it's like, it's weird to like
what can't be equaled up?
I'm thinking about like, it is some stuff like, but like, it depends how far you go. Like, if you like go far, like killing somebody's family member, just like, that's the first thing I'm gonna think about. Like doing something like that, like that's something that's gonna break you down. Like more, you ain't just gonna try to like be on the time they was on. Like
yeah. Because that's what makes me think. When does it stop? Like because that's the one thing. That is the one thing. If even anything got to be murder, right? Go ahead.
No, like that's the one thing. I mean, like that is just like, it did bring you to a different level for sure.
Yeah, like how could anybody, how could a court system, how could the law know what that's equal to me? You know what I'm saying? How could you know? 20, where you at with it?
I mean, speaking of court system, I mean, you can see it today. When people, if you kill somebody, chances are you might get a death penalty depending on where you are. It's a situation where they control it. So it's not like you're taking the matters into your own hands. It's the government doing it for you. So you don't have to, I guess so you can kind of you can get what you want, but wash your hands from actually committing it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's a sense of the government stepping in saying, hey, this is how we do it, instead of people taking justice into their own hands. You get what I mean? Like, let us do it for you, in a sense.
Yeah.
And,
so that's,
I mean, even with the smaller things, I feel like even prison is still like, or jail is still getting an eye for an eye, because regardless if you take something, you're going to jail, then they're taking your time away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and in that aspect, you lose a lot. You lose probably way more than you gain, because maybe you gain at that point in time a couple stacks, or maybe you gain a TV or whatever the case may be. But the time that you're going to spend in jail, the amount that you could have gained by getting yourself one or getting yourself a TV or stacking up or getting to the bag, you're going to lose that because you're just sitting there. So, I mean, you can still see an eye for an eye in a legal sense today, but I think a lot of people have gone back to taking it in their own hands and making sure that they are the ones that are showing you, hey, okay, now if you do this to me, I'm going to do this to you, regardless of the police or regardless of the government.
Shit was because they on our neck, because it's not fair. That actually don't sound eye to eye for me, because a TV is actually a homie of mine, y'all know Coach Lou. He said something to me a while back. He was like, "It's so many cars out here. Like, it's cars sitting in lots. Why don't everybody got a car?" You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so many TVs. You telling me if I take a TV, I gotta lose time? I gotta lose like time in my life? That don't sound equal to me. But let's move it forward a little bit, because I want to get certain things out and get y'all opinion on certain things. So let's talk about where it actually started, which is Babylonian law. My man, the Code of Hammurabi came from Babylon. I don't know if y'all heard that. You know what I'm saying? It's what a lot of black folks that like do not rock with our current society, like they Babylonian is the before everything, right? So Babylonian law is like a cuneiform law, meaning like the very early written law, and it's been studied by archaeologists, and it was the first findings of contracts for deeds, bonds, receipts, accounts, and then legal decisions, so the court thing. So that's how they found this, and that's where they found the Code of Hammurabi, which was about 1755 to 1750 BC, so before Christ. Or before Christ, very early on, very, very early on, this man Hammurabi was like, we got to have a code for everybody not killing each other, and here's why. Because he was known for dominance. He's the one, the Mesopotamian plain and all that over there. He took control of that in 1792, and he took over the throne from his dad when his dad was like starting to lose, and he had to figure out a way to do it. So he was actually a backstabbing, treacherous king. So like he was dominant and everything, but he actually betrayed a lot of his allies to become the king. So the man that put into code the eye for an eye to protect the offender was a dude that was backstabbing folk. The dude that was actually like, yeah, I got to get it how I live. But when I'm in power, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, chill out. He actually considered himself the people's shepherd. So he thought he was doing good by the people and all that shit.
He probably did it because when they figure out what he's doing, they going, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a situation where when they figure out what he's doing, they're going to want that vengeance, that eye for an eye, that two for a two. Yeah. You feel me? But if I'm in a sense of power, I can change that. I can make it easier for myself and other people, just in case they find out.
Yeah. So he was
doing like.
So I guess that's pretty much that's what it sounds like, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
too,
it sounded like he was kind of like trying to protect himself.
Yeah. I think that's how I usually start, right? Person in power wants to stay in power, so it's like, hey, yo, chill. So he's talking about like the Sumerian law, which is the law of the people that was before his dad. They was talking about protecting the victim, right, and compensating the victim. That was their focus, and he switched that to physical punishment of the perpetrator. So he did want the perpetrator to get physically harmed for the crime, but he also was the first one to establish the presumption of innocence. So the Miranda rights. And when we say like you're innocent until proven guilty, this is where that comes from the Code of Hammurabi. That's where we get it. So again, I'm about to give y'all the floor, because where y'all at with a dude that's like, I got mines by any means necessary, so to speak, basically by lying and backstabbing. You come in and you say, all right, I want to make sure that retribution ain't too crazy, but also somebody that do something should be hurt, like physical pain. But first, think this nigga's innocent. Where you at with it? CJ, where you at with it?
Like I said, man, I just think, to be honest, he was really just trying to protect himself for real. And then, so he made the loss, because obviously before it was different. and then he changed it where it was at, and then he had to probably throw a little in there, like, all right, let's do some physical pain, let's do this and that. So it's not looking all the way in his favor. You feel me? So he probably did a little something. So I mean, I think that's in the basics. He was just trying to be beneficial for himself.
Yeah. Word. All right, so I'm gonna flip that. A little bit. Go ahead, so 20. Funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on, because like you said, CJ, it seemed like he was just trying to throw people off the scent. Like, oh yeah, no, we can still hurt them or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's give him a chance to prove if they you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to prove he did it. You just can't be like, no, because that's probably during a time where if you get enough people to believe something is fact. You get what I'm saying? So people would just be like, oh, he stole from me. He stole from me. And okay, let me take this nigga hand without even proving that he stole from me type deal.
Get his hand.
You get what I'm saying? And he probably like, man, you can't prove none of the things that I've done because I've done it in such a sneaky way, such a backstabbing way. But if you can prove it, you feel me, Dan? What's up? Let's figure it out. So yeah, that's. I feel I'm with CJ now, dog.
Yeah. And all right, real quick, because I'm gonna flip it. Hold on, 20.
Was playing the masses on the sense of, I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want because that's what it sounded like, man.
No, he did. It was smart. I mean, he's a smart guy. He can't be a king. Well, you can be a king without being smart, but you can't like dominate and be one of the top kings ever without being somewhat smart. And let's take it to the field though, because one thing this reminds me of before I lose this thought is that eye for an eye don't work on the field because we all know that the second man getting caught. Like every time, like you personal foul penalty, the second dude gets caught, right? So how do you, especially as a defensive player where the game is going towards offensive guys, how do you approach like eye for an eye knowing that is the first perpetrator is presumed innocent, which is it seems like that's the deal when you're on the field too. So
I'm getting your mans, like the whole team, like I'm looking at everybody as you now. Like it's like something happened on the field. That's really how I'm looking at it. And that's how I feel. Like I just treat everybody like they did something terrible to me. Do
you be out there like, all right, if somebody cheap shot you for instance, like do you make it a point?
No, that man, though, that'd turn me up, like whatever, like a little cheap shot. Like only like something that'll get me mad on the field is like a face mask will show you mad. Like just grabbing a face mask and nobody caught it.
Yeah.
Because that can control you. Like that's the only thing that like actually get me mad. But like football be fun. Like I talk junk for fun. Like I talk junk like it's lit out there though.
Yeah. All right. No, I gotta ask CJ too. What's the thing where you bring out eye for an eye? Like if you had to pull out the legal term.
I mean, I would say that as far as like say on offense, right? Mm-hmm. You hit somebody after the play, like you know how the receiver might drop it, and then whistle get blew and everything, and then like that other team come blow them up. As a D, we looking like, oh yeah, we on that. Like then we come back on defense, and that's the really like answer that turn us up. Like all right, we come out there, we come with energy. Next drive, we out there, and we smacking everybody. Turn to a whole new game.
That's real.
Exactly.
That's real.
Yeah.
Offensively, we ain't got no shit like that.
Within the rules of a game, somebody's getting smacked. Within the rules of the game, somebody's getting, and it's like one of those situations where I was just about to say because I was a defensive player too as well, bro. And it was like, if say somebody hit our quarterback or whatever the case may be, somebody's getting smacked. Either the quarterback's getting smacked, either the receiver's getting smacked. Somebody's getting it. Somebody's getting it, bro. And it's going to be a situation of you're going to know it was retaliation for whatever case or whatever happens. Especially if it was on some cheap shot shit.
I feel that.
You get what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like getting somebody legally or getting away with hitting somebody. You feel me? Like putting that thing on somebody legally.
Hold on, because I would actually, and I feel that, and you could feel that energy we all play offense, but not like y'all are playing defense at a higher level. So y'all are defensive players as far as I'm concerned, and. From an offensive standpoint, yeah, I feel you. We can feel that energy. We actually be mad at our defensive players like, yo, you put us under the microscope and shit. But
Right.
For a player like me, like I need that. I need that bull seeing red out of the defenders. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that because it's ole. Like I'm dead legging y'all. But no, and also like I will get down, and also I will run out of bounds. Like I got nothing to prove to know. Yeah, like go find somebody else to get that eye for an eye with. But I was curious. All right. Let's go. We just
Mario,
got. What's up, bro?
You're not Olen. Listen.
What's up, bro?
I don't care how much you talk about Olen, bro. If you come across on a 5 to 7 yard slant, nigga, and you trying to go grab that rock, ain't no Ole, bro. There's no time for no Ole.
I feel that.
And I'm talking about. Yeah, Mario. Come on now.
Right.
You play at a high level.
I hear you.
You know what it is.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't talking about like the actual like a slant. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm talking about when the ball.
We're not talking about no open field tackles, my G. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at.
We're talking about getting you back. We're not talking about breaking down, scoring up tackles, bro. No. That's not what we're talking about. Though.
Man, whatever, man.
We're talking about those ones that we lurking. We was lurking. We've been lurking for this hit before the huddle said hi. Before the quarterback come out that huddle like this, we lurking like this. You see him ducking like this. You feel me? We looking, bro. We looking for the opportunity, bro. And you know what it is, man.
No, I was just saying, man. I had to connect because y'all got turned up.
Let them do that to us, bro. Yeah, bro.
No, that was me. That was me balancing the scale, man. Because y'all was very excited. All y'all had y'all little love. You know what I'm saying?
Because we've been there, bro. It's experience. We've been there. We've all. I could tell, man. When he was like safety, I was like, oh yeah, he been there. He was there like you could tell, dog. You could tell, bro. That's the only reason why you play safety, bro. You play safety to get these picks and to hit. Yeah, you feel me? Like that's it. To come up and hit and get these open picks over top picks. You feel me? So.
No, man, it's eye for eye. It's eye for eye. I know it's eye for eye. I feel you. Let me get back. Let me get back to the. Oh man, I messed up. Hold on. We actually already got into the origin, but let's get into origin round 2. My bad, y'all. Oh, that's the stamp button. That's the one. I gotta do it. The network makes me.
You gotta get the ad-libs, bro. You got to get the ad-libs right. Man.
I gotta get the ad-libs right. I done pressed the wrong button on the pad. Cause man, I was out here in a space full of defenders and shit. All right, so we hit Babylonian law. We hit the Code of Hammurabi. Let's move forward to the Torah. So this is closer to the Bible as we know it. So in Torah law, again, these are all laws by different cultures. So it is in fact a law. So in Torah law, the eye for eye was to restrict compensation to the value of loss. So making sure that a person didn't lose more than they offended, right? So in Torah law, theirs was actually only one eye for one eye to make sure that you didn't even misinterpret it. So if you only one eye, if it was one eye taken, then one eye given back. You know what I'm saying? That's only it. So they started to get into the Torah started to get into monetary payment for things in place of bodily punishment, except for, like Ant said, murder. Murder was the one thing that there's no amount of money that can replace murder in the Torah law. You got to go. You got to go if you hurting people. If you murder somebody, the only way is for you to get gone. Now in the Talmud, again, around the same time as the Torah, and getting closer to the Bible, they actually had was definitely on the monetary compensation thing, and they are the ones that brought into play that we know about, like damages, pain, medical expenses, and mental anguish. So all these things that are actually legal forms of suing people, like people get paid out for mental anguish. Like I was just down bad mentally off of this thing. The Talmud brought that into play because they had thought that eye for an eye was too specific, in turn making it too lenient. Like if you only did physical harm, how can you really account for all the other things that happens when something happens to somebody? So yeah. So like they want to like, okay, you can get money, and these are all a different way compensation things on things get paid for, replaced. So they brought in everything. Eye for an eye is like everything. Every ounce of the situation, you get repayment. That's what they consider equal. All right. So where y'all at with like, if you comparing physical pain, exact physical pain, or the Talmud's approach, which is damages, medical expenses at the time, you know what I'm saying? Mental anguish. So you got to pay for the mental anguish, replace what you got, all that stuff. 20, where you at with, which one you choosing? Which one is more eye for an eye?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's between the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, some things money can't bring back, some things money can't buy, you know, and there's things that, you know, you don't want money for. You feel
Like
me?
what? Like what? Outside of murder. Let's take murder off the table, bro. Let's take murder off the table. What's something
I would say, honestly, bro, like I grew, and maybe this is my mindset, bro, but I grew up with a mindset of like, I wouldn't, if somebody get me for my whip, you get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want that whip no more. Like, and that may seem stupid. Like if somebody stole my car and they found my car, I wouldn't feel right being in that car no more because somebody been in it.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, that's my perspective. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of, I guess that's the lifestyle that I grew up in. You know what I mean? And it's just a situation where
y'all got a lot of coke down there.
Yeah, like it's like it's violation, bro. It's the violation. And every time I'm in that car, it's going to remind me of the violation. And it's just going to direct my personal beliefs and everything. You get what I mean? Like it's going to interfere with me thinking straight because here I am going to think about this car every time that somebody got me for this car. And I'm not even going to want to steal another car. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Buddy. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so what would be equal to you in that scenario? What would be eye for eye in that scenario?
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you. I don't know, bro. I do not know.
All right, CJ, which one is more eye for an eye? The physical
I would say
pain,
if you really traditional eye for eye, I would have to say the first option for sure. But to really be able to like I guess be beneficial, to benefit from it, I would say the damages one would be better because like obviously like you said, like the mental damages, the medical, the other stuff that goes into it. By doing something like how he said, like if you stole my car, I can't go to work. I can't do other obligations I have. There's other stuff on the table that I can't do just because you stole my car. It's not the fact that okay, you stole my car and I can drive nowhere. Like it's more into it than that. So
all right,
you have to replace it with like obviously that money value. Like say my car was like $10,000. You have to replace the $10,000 on top of the other, maybe the amount of money I missed out on work, or maybe all the other stuff I had missed out on.
Yeah, I hear that. All right. Tell me on something.
But that's what I'm saying though. But you can't. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mario. But that's like you saying that it has to be exactly the eye for the eye.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. So that's why the Talmud was like it's too lenient. They was saying like. And I'm gonna let Ant give his opinion before I summarize. Ant, which one is closer to eye for eye for you? Exact or the Talmud?
For me, it'll probably, like I'm thinking about like hurting someone because they stole my stuff. Like that's not gonna really like give me because that's they pay. Fuck it, like whatever they did to me, like still not like the money thing. Like I grew up broke, so like that's what I'm thinking. Like if someone give me like they took my whip and they give me like a meal, like times 2 of the whip, like whatever, like shit, you took it, you dumb, like whatever, like and I got my money, but like I think I'll take the damages thing and just like take the money, because like if you take murder off the thing, like obviously that's the one thing I think about, like you can't like
murder off the
you about to do, or the government, like the government can't deal with this, like the government, regular people.
I'm with that. All right, yeah, that's what. The Talmud was saying it's too lenient. That's and it would sound different. It sounds even off to say like if if I hit you, this is like a punch. Like again, taking murder off the table, the most extreme thing. And I'm like, I hit you, and in that one shot got you good. And the old school would say, all right, well, we'll sit them right there. Get your shot back. Go. And go. The Talmud is like, okay, how much did it cost for your eye to get fixed? And how much, and how long were you out for? And all that. And that is heavier. I think I'm on the side of the Talmud, but I feel like the general public looks down upon and would say it's more extreme or more eye for an eye to say like physical or corporal punishment, or like, you know what I'm saying, getting somebody exactly back. And I feel like it's weird in that position because we teach people like not to, that like it's worse to like punch back. Like we teach kids, don't hit back. But that's like the most lenient. Right. That's Rue is having some issues because he keep getting people up off you in daycare. Like, get up off me, dog. And so, but that's like the part where I'm like, okay, that's where I look at this phrase. I'm like, I don't know if I really mess with it. And as I continue to learn about it, it's like we put the physical response greater than all these other things, like the actual impact. Because if I was to hit somebody back, I'm in trouble too. You feel what I'm saying? Like if I was to do that shit, and I think that's off, and I think that's a mixed message.
What if you come across? Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, no, I was gonna just relate it to football, like how you said, if somebody come cheap shot me, and I go punch them in their face, that might be 15 yards penalty for me, and I get kicked out. So it don't really compare. Like I feel like it's different situations where it's like, is it really worth it to get somebody back? Like if you want to talk about like in football terms.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
well, I mean, what if you come across somebody that has nothing to lose? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you kind of do that? Because if they don't have money to repay you for all that time, then what are you really getting back? You get what I'm saying? And it's like you said, sometimes, hitting somebody it's not gonna stop your pain. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like a situation where it's like how do you genuinely get back what has been gotten from?
But taken from you, right?
Unless you mentally let it go. Unless you mentally just let it go.
Ooh, hey, did y'all read the show notes?
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way.
Did y'all read the show notes?
Nah, man. You give us the notes right before you press record.
I do. I'll be like, hey, Tony, here they go. Here they go. I didn't even give them the show notes. Oh no, all right, let's segue to this. I'm gonna hold my thought because y'all did a better job than I ever could. So in Christianity, we're getting closer to where we sit in Christianity. Our guy Jesus, Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount that to turn the other cheek. And he said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the one who is evil. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. Right? So now we're talking about first and that's in Matthew 5:38. And there's an Israeli scholar who took the Hebrew version of this. And he's saying that Jesus actually didn't intend to suppress the Old Testament rule of eye for an eye, but instead of just saying don't seek out vengeance on your own and don't do it. You don't have to do it legally. You know what I'm saying? And the essence being you got to give that to God. You got to give that up. Like Tony's saying, you gotta release it mentally. Like CJ saying, is it worth it? Is it even worth it to make eye for an eye a thing? Even though it's the law, is it a thing and worth it to make eye for an eye, implement eye for an eye? Now, I definitely want to hear where y'all at with turning the other cheek. And I'm not just talking about you can use football terms, but in life, where y'all at with turning the other cheek? Because this is where it gets interesting for me. Because eye for eye, we figuring out all right, it's kind of extreme. In certain circumstances, not warranted. But the philosophy of turn the other cheek, deep side, dog. I'm gonna let you think that through, 20. And where you at? How on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you at as a turn the other cheeker?
See,
and now Anthony, hold on. We are a true and honest show, man.
Yeah, like, and I get that you got eyes on you.
All we ask is do not mess up. Please do not mess up your career.
Yes.
Do not do that, bro. We don't want people bringing back this 10 years from now and taking your bag away because you said something 10 years ago for this show. But we are saying to you, man, listen, we are an open and honest show.
Yes.
I'm not a student athlete, so if you need to text me and let me know what you want to say, I was saying it in the third person for you, G. But please do not feel like you have to filter what you need to say and what you need the public to know about Anthony.
Yes.
Because they're going to look this back and they're going to be like, oh, okay, let me try this nigga.
don't put the battery in the back. Don't put the battery.
My fault.
Let him go. Don't put the battery in the back, boy.
I'm the ultimate energizer buddy.
You are, bro.
Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
I'm like, I turn the cheek on a lot of things. Like most things, like it's not gonna get to me. Like somebody talking crazy. Like if I already know stuff, like or like anything, like I'm not gonna like. I don't buy into a lot of people's like stuff. Like I don't buy into people. So like I turn the cheek on a lot, but like. That's like on like relationship wise and like people wise, like turning the cheek. But like turning the cheek and like someone do something like, no, I'm not gonna like. I don't turn the cheek on stuff like that. Like I just like if you do something wrong to me, like you gonna have to know like you did something wrong to the wrong person. Like that's just how like I just ain't gonna let it keep going. I ain't gonna let it keep going.
That's hey, you know what? Shout out to your family and shout out to Western Michigan education because that was a great way to say what you just said. Like I get what you said. I understand it clearly. Like you're not going for certain stuff. You're not going. Got you, CJ. I fuck with that.
Like CJ. I feel him on that. It's definitely certain stuff. It's like it's a respect level, and like you can't really. I feel like when it comes personal, it's different. You feel me? So it's like you can't let certain stuff slide because then it's free game for everybody. Oh, you can come do this to brother, do that. He's not gonna do nothing. You feel me? Didn't turn into that. So then you're really going to be out of luck. Mm-hmm. But I look at it like, I guess as far as like in the law. So say if somebody, say some homeless man goes and steals something from a store. I feel like at like that situation, it's like you have to know the reasoning on why he did or like why somebody is doing something. Compared to like, okay, he stole some. Oh, let's give him this and that. It's like, yeah, I bet you if you was in that situation, you'll be doing the same thing he doing.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's just how I look at it.
Word. I'm gonna hold that because I'm gonna come to that part. 20.
Really, really good. Both of you guys, I'm telling you, both of you guys are going
smart.
some places because you guys got great, smart answers, political correct answers.
That still get the point across.
You guys. I applaud you guys for that.
Actually,
exactly, man.
Yeah. All right, shut up.
Need more like you.
Need more like you for real. But go ahead, 20.
Oh no, I just one of my favorite artists has a song about this, and I just want to recite a little bit of it. It says,
"Don't say too
Jesus,
much, or copyright." No, go ahead.
It just says, "Try Jesus, but not me." All right, try Jesus, but not me, bro. Because right now, like and honestly, when I was we've all played. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I played football since I was 5 till I was 25, and it was one of those situations where the discipline aspect of it carries a long way, especially on and off the field. So you're going to have to be able to have that composure, especially in a time where someone else or that's right in front of you don't have as much composure as you. And I understand that I would say that feeling of being able to be the bigger person in certain situations.
Yeah.
But I tell you this, now that I'm a grown ass man, bro, like I just feel like if you want the smoke, I'm gonna give you all the smoke because some people just try you for no reason. Some people try because they have a bad day. And I think I'm not gonna point it back out. If y'all want to go back and listen to him, he made a point. It's like, listen.
Was it Trick?
I can go ahead, huh?
Was it Trick?
No. I'm talking about one of our Expression guests that we have.
Oh, okay,
here.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, "Look, I'll be for some of the stuff, but not all the stuff." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, listen.
Yeah.
I'll be for some of it. There's some of the things that I can honestly sit up here and say that I'll let pass, but it's like, don't give me enough time to think about it. How about that? If you're gonna try to get away on me, you feel me? Get away on me and then keep it moving, but don't give me enough time to think about, like, really, hold on, bro. You really trying me right now? Am I really gonna have to adjust this situation? Because if that's what you're looking for, then you came
found
to
it.
the right store. The store's still open.
Yeah, the store's still open. No, I get that. Let me say this real quick before I lose it. That one, this is where like eye for eye goes from legal to feeling, right? Because everybody, it comes to a point where like CJ said, a homeless man or somebody that don't have it to give back. Like then the legal point of it is pointless. Then you got to get to the human part. You got to get to the relationship part. And also, there's a line for everything. For legal, it's murder. You know what I'm saying? Like in current day, even like, okay, the only time we really gonna get you back on how you did it is if you kill somebody. Like you up, depending on where you at, you up to die. And as a feeling, you got to be able to say, you have to be able to have a line, dog. You have to be able to say, this is where I will turn the other cheek, and this is where it's an eye for an eye now. And then that eye for eye has its own spectrum. But y'all make a good point where I don't even know if turning the other cheek for real is like letting shit slide. And I'm gonna pray about it because I know Jesus said that. I don't know if it's letting shit. I just think it's not actual vengeance. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's lack of conflict. I just think it's lack of vengeance. You feel me? You get what I'm saying?
You don't think it's lack of conflict?
No. I think turning the other cheek is. I don't take it as that. It's like
I want to hear like why though.
We gotta praise that then, bro.
Yeah,
we gotta praise that because I feel like that is totally non-confrontational
I can't
style.
say that,
like,
bro.
hey,
how can I say that if
maybe
Jesus was all about the conflict? Jesus was all about conflict, bro. So how can I say that he was doing something that he wasn't about? He was willing to say the things, say when you fucked up, say you're whack, say you're trash. He was willing to do all that. He just wasn't going.
That's something we got to talk to King James about.
We can talk to my man King
Lord knows
James.
if he was about the conflict, bro. There's no way you're sitting here and not being confrontational with somebody and maybe that's me looking into saying turn the other cheek equals getting slapped in the cheek type of deal. Maybe I'm
that's what
part of the
no. It is. That's what
maybe
he says
that's
though.
What
if someone slaps you, give him the other cheek. Yeah,
turn the other cheek.
Yeah, so don't slap back.
I'm saying. So there's no way that's confrontational. So you're saying tell them stop slapping you?
You can say stop slapping me. You can even say, hey, you got like 3 more times. You got 3 more times to slap.
How's that turning the cheek though?
To say
how's that turning the cheek?
Because you're not slapping back. Because you're not slapping back. You feel me? Come on, dog. You got to give me that, bro. I think about this shit a lot, bro. You got to give me that. Like,
what y'all think?
Talk to me because one thing before y'all go.
3 more times,
right? One more thing before y'all go.
3 more times to slap me, bro.
I understand that y'all live in a different world because y'all be having cameras in y'all face. Just like back when me and 20 was coming up and we gave a fuck. And we was like, you know what I'm saying, on our little campus at our Morris, we was them people, but we didn't have to deal with like. The only time we had to really sit up straight was when it was an orchestrated media event, right? Y'all got cameras in y'all face all the time to make this decision. Yeah. So with that said, now y'all, what do y'all think? Like, do y'all feel like turning the other cheek is complete lack of conflict?
It's like I think of it as like a react. I go by react and respond. Like you either react to something or you respond to something. Like in response is like reacting like straight up like. If you slap me, I'm slapping you back, like straight up. Respond is thinking like, should I slap? What am I about to get out of slapping them back? Like, and like it depends. Like situational wise, like I guess like we learned that in football, like react and respond. Like that's all we like. They teach us that a lot. Like react and respond. Like respond to all this shit because you're gonna go through a bunch of bullshit, and it's how you're gonna respond to it. Because everybody about to react to it, but if you sit down and respond to it, it might be a better outcome.
Damn. No, that just helped me.
Your head, like
right.
Okay.
Right. That's the thing though. Like you got to really think about it. Like you can't just react out of emotion. I feel like that's what a lot of people turns into that. Like it's more emotion based responses instead of critical thinking responses. So that's why a lot of things happen for the wrong reason. And it's like if you really deep down and think about, okay, like what do I gain from this? Or hey, why did he do this? Or like stuff like that. Where you know, like, okay, maybe this shouldn't be a good idea if I do this, or maybe they're not in the right mental space, so they did this. Maybe we should go get him help instead of let's make it worse for him and let's like belittle them or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I just feel like you don't really know what the person's going through. You don't really know certain stuff. You got to really look at it. But like obviously, certain situations you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like it, like obviously you feel me. So it just all depends.
It depends.
You got to protect yourself, man.
Also,
you got to protect yourself
here's
at
my
all
thing.
times, bro.
Here's my thing for it, because I'm gonna move us to the next thing that some y'all all referenced before we grade is that I always think of it this way, and this goes a little bit into my intent versus impact feelings, and how we're imbalanced into the impact part and responding to impact, and we don't think about intent. Because if and I put it this way, if a stranger tries to punch you and misses, versus if your homie like bump, like is not paying attention, maybe y'all live in the same spot, coming down the hallway, not paying attention, he run into you, and the shit hurt though. Like not just a regular, like the shit hurts. You still probably will respond more viscerally angry at the stranger trying to punch you than not having no physical impact versus your homie actually physically harming you, but knowing like they wasn't on no shit. Like that's how I think about this and how I frame it. Like if we're gonna be all about eye for an eye and conflict and all that, like the intent is there too. Like you got to be able to think through like what's the whole.
I'm about to say it has to be it has to be about the intent though, Mario, because your homie is not intending to.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, or to give you harm.
Yeah.
So you realize that. But if you see somebody that's stranger that's trying to intentionally hurt you, then
right. So that's what I'm
you
saying.
Can't really compare. That's what
situations.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's where intent matters more than impact. Is what I'm saying. Intent matters more than impact there. And but you feel what I'm saying? So like, and I'll connect it. So when you slapping somebody just because you got slapped, don't like that's what I think turn the other cheek means. Just because it happened don't mean you do the same thing. Think about what's going on. Have some forethought on the intent or on the situation. Now, intent versus impact is out of that category, but that's where I'm at with it, man. Look, we going to the last part before we grade this because I see 20 trying to challenge me, and as much as I love being challenged,
I'm not. You know me, man. I just.
No, I like it. All right, the last thing I want to. Dog, shut up. The camera kind of hot. Hold on, y'all. Like, go off. There we go. All right. So the last one is reciprocal justice and how it applies across social society, right? So there's a train of thought. Oh, first before that, in Roman law is completely monetary, except for assault. Like, so they, in their law, eye for an eye is what can we do to compensate you monetarily? Unless you've injured somebody, then your thumb getting broke if you broke their thumb, your leg getting broke if you broke their leg. That's Roman law back in the day. Islam to current day, so some sections of Islam still use the literal eye for an eye. So and we see it, and they're villainized for it in our country. So just want to put that out there since it's an informative show on top of all we're talking about. So back to reciprocal justice and eye for an eye as is across social context. Early on, it was only eye for an eye was only actually reserved for social equals. So like, 20 talks about this all the time. At what time was this created? Right? So let's go to slave times, slavery, right? Eye for an eye is meant between two slave owners. And so if the slave owner was to do something wrong, quote unquote, to the slave would be freed, but the slave owner wouldn't get any other penalty besides that. Like say he was to damage the eye of the slave. All right, you fucked up, man. That's not how business is running. Free slave, you lose your slave, dog. Go about your business. If the slave was to injure the slave owner's eye, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like kill it. So eye for an eye at first was implemented as through social equals. So that was not the legal ramifications of non-social equals. Then they started to dig deeper, and it was like this actually should, based on how it's written and how Hammurabi wrote it, it should be applied across all social boundaries. So the eye for eye principle actually is for everyone, in that even there's somewhere in the Bible that says something like you are to have one law for the alien and the citizen. So like the alien being someone that's not a citizen, so that it doesn't mean that you can mistreat, or it's not eye for an eye, so that marginalized people in society were given the same rights in the social structure. So before we grade it out, here's y'all opportunity to be on the right side of fucking history, right? Where y'all at with knowing where, eye for eye, how eye for eye applies in the social construct? And do you think even today that people have the same eye for eye rights across social constructs? 20, I'll let you go last again, because I do.
Oh no, don't worry, man.
Go ahead, CJ.
So you basically asking, like, is it the same?
Yeah, do you
like
feel like that? Because
kind
it's supposed to be applied for all people. Do you think that's actually
right.
happening?
Is it being applied? I mean, I would say no, because I feel like it's levels to stuff, just like it's levels in life. Like, obviously, certain stuff, if you know the right people, like, you're not gonna get as big of a punishment as somebody that has no connections. But I feel like that's just come with life nowadays. It's about like networking, like who you know can help you in certain stuff.
Yep, that's real. That's real. And where you at? You think we all?
I don't just think not at all. Like, it depends even how your money come. Like, rich people, like, you can get out of anything when you got money. Like, especially like in Nigeria. Like, Nigeria is kind of a lawless country, and then like you can, like, if you got money, you can go around, like, you can already kill someone and nobody will know. Like, and then like you can, with money, you can go up to the cops. Cops will follow you around. Like, the cops, people like they regular people. Like, they do anything for some money. So I feel like, look at it like, it depends how much money you got. Like, even in America, the same thing.
Real. 20, go ahead.
It's still, like, it was equal to your social classes. I feel like it's still like
same. Like that. 20.
No, that's exactly, honestly, he's legitimate said it right, man. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think money plays a big part of that too as well. I feel like nowadays, like, and I don't even want to make this as a topic, but you look at it like this, man. When it comes to police, like, if you kill a cop, bro, the chances of you making it to the precinct is slim. You get what I'm saying? It's slim. And I feel like that's their basis of an eye for an eye type of deal. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, in that sense, it's still kind of there till this day. But then again, it is a little different because they have that power to kind of, like, I don't want to say get away with it, but they have that power to kind of like try to use it where it can fit.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to use it where it fit, then it can turn on you in the sense of, yeah, you'll be going to prison, or you'll be going to jail, or you'll be doing this because of you trying to live by that eye for an eye, when there's a lot of things that goes on still to this day that hits that eye for an eye, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think y'all nailed it. The two things in this current society, and I'm glad we could name it, man. I'm definitely glad we could name it with a couple of the future's brightest, is that money. I've heard, I don't know how long ago I heard this, but they say like wealthy people, and I would even say go down to rich people because they're rich and wealthy. But they say like to us it's a speeding law or speed limit. To rich people is how much do I have to pay to go 200 miles per hour? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they look at it. Like, how much is it going to cost me to drive my car this fast? Or to park in this spot that they say no parking? How much is it going? What's the actual cost of that? So that's one, like, you're not getting the same penalty. And two, police brutality off top. Off top is where it is not eye for eye, and that shit shifts as often as it needs to. Like you said, you kill a cop, dunzo. Whether you get killed on the scene or you make it back somehow and they know that you're the cop killer. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got a hell of a life ahead of you. Whereas if a cop, on purpose or on accident, get one of us up out of here, especially one of us up out of here, you know what I'm saying, then who knows? Who knows what the actual penalty will be? We've seen time and time again that the penalty might be nada, zip zero, stingy with fucking De Niro. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Look, I fuck with y'all heavy. Here we go. Let's grade this thing, man. So, fellas, it's called Appraise the Phrase because we got to give it value, man. And so we have a 3-category grading system, an A through F grading scale. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to sit this one out. 20. You're going to handle the power grade. Okay. No. I'm actually going to, I want to give my opinion. I'm going to do the
I'll sit this one out.
Oh yeah, because you've been on my back, bro.
I'll sacrifice.
Yeah, you sacrifice. You've been on my back. All right, so I'm gonna do the power and the speed grade. The power grade is just the impact of it and how if when you hear it when it's said, does it shake the room? Does it have impact when it's said? And then I'll hit us with the speed grade, which is, does it just flow off the tongue? Is it smooth to say? Is it easy to hear? And then we'll do y'all two. Each one of you will have a different guest preference grade, and that's all things combined. So how you feel about it with power, how you feel about it with speed, and then like how do you use it in personal life now that you know the origin, meaning, all that, just what you feel about it. All right. So I'm gonna start us off power grade. Eye for an eye. As far as power goes, honestly, I think I would give it a B, probably even a B minus. One, because it's outdated a little bit in that sense, and two, I think people don't know that it's a law. So like it sounds more like a feeling than a fact, even though it's rooted in facts. Like there's literally like checks and balances for is this eye for an eye. Like that's the society we live in, and people don't get that feeling. It just, or don't understand it. It's just really just a little feeling. So I'm gonna get at a B minus right there for the power. And then with speed, I mean, depends on if you're saying the whole thing, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That shit's still kind of like, you know what I'm saying, a little bouncy. You could throw that in a song easily. So I'm going to give an A to eye for an eye, the alliteration. I like saying it. I'm going to keep saying eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. So I'm going to get at an A. All right. Passing it to CJ. Again, A through F. Everything combined. How you feel about it? Do you plan on using it? All that, and then just tell me quickly why.
Everything combined, I would say I would give it like a B plus. I mean, from it, like how you explained it, though, I feel like I didn't learn the various meanings that it has, and just even the history about it. So I feel like if you want to use the phrase as a whole, I mean, the phrase as a whole is like, I feel you can't even really use the phrase as a whole because different levels. Like if you want to look at different laws, like in different societies, there's different meanings for it. So like in some societies, it's like it really makes sense. In other societies, like it can be, like you said, it's outdated. So it can be a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it.
So a B?
A B.
Word. All right, Ant, what you got?
For power, I'm sitting here thinking like hearing eye for eye is like kind of rare. Like if I hear eye for eye, like someone telling someone like eye for eye, like I'm really thinking like, okay, like he for real. Like you don't really just hear someone like just playing around. So like, I give like A minus, like A.
A minus. Yeah, I get that. That's real. All right.
But
yeah. Word. All right, fellas. Before we get out of here, we got a couple more things to cover, and then we'll set you free. First of all, thank you both. Amazing contributions to the episode. Of course, I got to show love to what y'all doing. So I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to just say more about how y'all feeling about the upcoming season, how we can support you, listeners, viewers can support you individually or the school or whatever cause you want to lift up. So we'll start with you. Ant, how can people find you? How can people support you? The NIL is here. It's active. It's important. Talk to them.
Man, y'all can find me on Instagram. Enechukwu, spelled A-N-T, last name C-H-U-K-W-U. That's the main way. I'm answering all DMs. Anything for any support, like this is my first year actually gonna be playing and starting, like, so like it's the time to turn up the name for real this year.
Yeah.
I'm ready too, so that's really all though. Like
That's awesome, bro.
Like, I don't be like chasing
Ain't you supposed to do something when this is on?
What?
Ain't you supposed to do something when this is on?
Bro, where do you find these niggas fight songs like this, bro?
He don't even know his fight song.
Like,
Oh man, word. CJ, talk to me. How can we find you? How can we support?
You can find me on Instagram, just like Ant said. Mine is paid.c. And then on Twitter as well at CJ_Brown24. Like, I'll be on those a lot, so you can find me there. Like you said, man, hit the DMs. I'm open to any opportunity. Really, man, just trying to get back to the community. Really, just give back to those who've given to me.
Man,
I feel like this upcoming season it's gonna be a special year, man. I feel like the main mantra this year is the shred of doubt. We coming out there applying pressure, and then really just it's a mental battle between the man and the mirror at all times.
I like that, man. Y'all's coaching staffs is legit. Golly. I'm gonna give you that, but golly. All right, do y'all little dance that they make y'all do in the cafeteria. You know? Word, man. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm gonna make sure that everything they just said was in the show notes. Please rock with them. We're gonna make sure we take care of them too, because we would never tell viewers or listeners to do something that we wouldn't do. Before we leave, we have one more thing. 20, set it up. We have the
Dictionary of Misinformation. All right, guys, this is one of our favorite segments of the show. We always end the show like this. This is something that we came across. It's a dictionary that just gives you more information about things you've probably been misinformed about. It's a really, really great tool, especially when you're trying to, change the way you speak, and gain a little bit more knowledge about the things that you try to present to other people. So what we do is we ask our guests to give us a letter, A through Z. Doesn't matter which letter you want. Just let us know. I think only letter that actually is out of the question is X.
I think so. I think we
All right.
only X.
But other than that, whatever letter you guys want to give us, we're going to give you a little bit of misinformed information about it. So you want to do two different letters, Mario, or?
If they can come together for one letter, y'all can have 5 seconds to figure out a letter that y'all want to know about. Go ahead and converse.
Man, it don't matter, bro. We could just do C.
There you go. Look.
There it is. C. There it is.
C is good for you, Ant.
yeah, that's straight.
He wasn't gonna pick C. All right, here we go. C. What is C talking about? Hopefully they got something decent. Oh man, I don't care about that. Oh, okay. Nope, don't care about that. Camille, who was that? Oh, hey, let's something simple, man. Let's end on something light. Let's end on cat's eyes in the dark. Y'all ever seen like cat's eyes in the dark? Y'all think like, what's going on? Y'all ever seen that? Well, people think that his eyes can glow in the dark, but that's actually not it. Cat's eyes can't glow in the dark. They actually just have a very special reflection. Then they're reflecting light. They're not glowing. They can't see any better in the night than any other animal. The only animal who will nighttime like actually activate something special is a firefly. So cat's eyes in the dark, they don't have special glow in the dark eyes, just some regular ass animal eyes like you and mine. Okay? if anybody ever asks, just say like, nah, they ain't glowing, man. It's just the light, man. Just say that and you'll know. All right, y'all. We appreciate it. We appreciate you listening. We about to get up out of here. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube is where all the visuals are. Again, special thanks to CJ and Ant and my man 20. Yep. And always remember that value is in the eye of the appraiser. We will check y'all next week.